I received this email the other day. Dear Dan Brown, I have been watching your videos for a while and I have noticed that you have not made a video on a certain issue. What are your views on gay marriage? Do you think that it should be accepted by society or rejected? Why? From Aaron Fraser. Thank you, Aaron, for the question. Now, this issue is one that people seem to get really riled up about. So before I can fully explain to you my position, I need to make sure that we all understand why people generally go so crazy over this issue. For the sake of this vlog, I'm going to simplify things a bit. The people who are mainly responsible for the craziness surrounding the gay marriage debate generally fit into one of four categories. The instigators, the reactionaries, the perpetuators, and the parrots. It all starts when a gay couple says, hey, we want to get married. Can we? Then the instigators show up and say loudly and proudly, no. The instigators are those who come from the far right, have very fundamentalist religious ideas, and as a result believe that in the name of the Lord, they must do everything they can to disrupt the gay lifestyle that they see as being very sinful. Then, the reactionaries show up. The reactionaries are those who very strongly support gay marriage and use the actions of the instigators as reason to act out with equal, if not greater tenacity than the instigators against those who are against gay marriage. Did you catch all that? Now it's time for the perpetuators. The perpetuators are politicians who see this brouhaha beginning to form, and instead of trying to work towards a common sense solution, choose to stir the pot even more for political gain. Basically, gay marriage is a wedge issue that perpetuators use as a way to divide and conquer. Finally, we have the parrots. Parrots are people who don't pay a whole lot of attention to political issues, but pretend like they do. Instead of looking at the facts and coming up with their own ideas on the gay marriage debate, they just choose to repeat whatever their favorite talking head has been saying. What happens is that one parrot will talk to another parrot, will talk to another parrot, until eventually, and if you've ever played the game Telephone, you know exactly how this works, the accuracy of what is being said becomes completely irrelevant. So there are all these people making all this noise, debating and rallying and yelling and petitioning. I mean, it's the sort of thing that people can really get lost in. But all the while, those who make such a fuss over the gay marriage issue often lose touch with the fact that we're dealing with real people here. I'm going to tell you a true story. Now, there are many gay couples throughout the 48 states where gay marriage is not legal who still function almost identically to straight married couples. They have a ceremony, they exchange vows, they live together, they love each other. Now, my family is friends with a lesbian woman who was in such a relationship, and being committed to and in love with each other, they decided to adopt a child. Unlike a straight couple, however, because the government does not recognize gay unions, they were not able to adopt as a couple. They still adopted a beautiful baby girl. They raised her together, they cared for her together, and as far as the girl was concerned, they were both her parents. But technically, because they couldn't adopt together, our family friend's partner was the only one with custody of the girl. In the eyes of the law, she was the only parent. And so it was for many years, until, just like in many marriages, there began to be problems. I'll spare you the details, but ultimately what happened is our family friend's partner left our family friend and took their daughter with her. Had they been allowed to marry, there would have been divorce proceedings, there would have been some legal course of action for our family friend to take. But instead, our government turned a blind eye to her losing a daughter, and her daughter losing a parent. What's worse is that this is far from the only basic marriage right that our government denies to gay couples. Hospital visitation rights, social security benefits. I'll link you in the sidebar to a brief article I found that lists marriage rights that are denied to gay couples. So let's get to the point. What exactly do I think? Well, first of all, homosexuality is not a choice. It is simply the way someone is. Denying someone their rights because they're gay is just as bad as denying someone their rights because they're black or because they're blind. Now, I understand that a lot of the opposition to gay marriage happens for religious, frequently biblical reasons. Now, I'm not going to get into the biblical aspect of it right now. That's another vlog for another time. But I am going to pose a question for those who are vehemently opposed to gay marriage. How, in any way, shape, or form, would allowing gay marriage have any effect at all on your life? Now, as narrow-minded and just plain theologically wrong as I believe opposition to homosexuality on a religious basis is, I will concede that in a free country one does have the right to be opposed to homosexuality. But just because you disagree with someone does not mean that you deny them basic rights. Now, there's a guy in my city who on weekends stands on a busy street corner downtown holding a big, tall wooden cross, yelling at people, telling them to repent, or else they are going to hell. Now, the guy really pisses me off. I disagree with him completely, and at times I just want to tell him to shut up. But I know better than that. Just because I disagree with him, it does not mean that I get to dictate what he does or how he lives his life. Just because someone is opposed to homosexuality doesn't mean that they get to dictate how gay couples live their lives. I've been rambling for a while now, so I'll finish up. I believe that opposition to gay marriage is prejudiced and selfish, and that it is a travesty that our government still does not recognize that love can happen in different ways. While people have the right to remain opposed to homosexuality, they do not have the right to dictate how gay couples live their lives, and they certainly do not have the right to deny gay couples basic rights. I completely and totally support marriage rights for homosexual couples. So that's what I think. Now it's your turn. Post a comment or a video response and let me, along with the rest of the world, know what you think about the gay marriage debate. Oh yeah, and subscribe to me, because I'm awesome. I am Dan Brown, and I'm out.